It's back to school season, and as a stereotypical study hard Asian perfectionist, I have some pretty good study tips for those who don't know how to study, but also I somehow managed to keep my sanity intact for these past 4 years while maintaining a pretty good social life. I'll give you all the things I wish I knew in high school, so hopefully you can learn from some of my mistakes. Hello, it's Irie. Welcome back to the cozy corner of the internet. If you're new, hi, my name is Irie, and we're all about glowing from the inside and out without all the hustle and grinding and locking in. So I'll just be covering some of the helpful tips and tricks that I've learned, which I think are really useful, to be honest, even if you're not in high school as well. So let's get the nitty-gritty out of the way. Let's just start with academics. But no one, of course, actually teaches you how to study. And I feel like a lot of the study videos, they're a bit outdated. I don't know if this applies to all schools, but in general, a lot of the times the teachers will provide you with a slide deck or PowerPoint slides, on the whiteboard. And to be honest, a lot of the teachers steal them off of the internet as well. Or you might be taking notes from your textbook, right? But taking notes, what does that even mean? Because I used to be that girl who used to copy every single thing off of the slide deck, or even if I tried to summarize and bullet point it down, I still felt like I'm missing something. So when it actually comes to revision time, I would end up looking through PowerPoint slides or the textbook instead of looking at my actual notes. I would waste so much time trying to copy everything down, and my notes itself aren't actually helpful. So the actual thing is, I actually never took notes in high school. And if you feel that you are productive when you're copying the notes off of the slide deck, you're wasting your time and it's probably not helping you. When it comes to studying, the most important thing is grasping the concept. For example, when you're studying biology or sciences or even social sciences, a lot of it is concept heavy. You really want to write your notes in your own words and draw diagrams. They're the best way to help you out. For example, let's use biology, the electron transport chain. Photosynthesis, it's a pretty hard concept to understand. You're not going to understand how the electron transport chain is going to work through a list of bullet points or just reading your textbook. You really have to draw out the whole process yourself. So really draw the electron transport chain, and you want to draw the steps yourself and write the keywords yourself. So when you're revising, you want to imagine that you're the one teaching it. This is the best method ever. So imagine that you're actually the teacher standing in front of the whiteboard, right? And you're explaining to your students how the electron transport chain works. You shouldn't need to read your notes. You should only see the keywords that you highlighted and think, oh yeah, this is what step 1, this is what step 2 is. If you can't explain it properly, that means it's something you have to work on. Now, what happens if your subject is not so much concept and rather more problem-based, like mathematics, physics, word problems, okay? If you're doing AP courses, Khan Academy is your best friend. I spent my whole entire life on Khan Academy and College Board or the Organic Chemistry Teacher's YouTube channel. Literally in class, when my teacher is explaining, I would have Khan Academy open and I would be doing the problems. Literally, you have to be doing practice problems. That's the only way to study. I personally think doing practice problems on websites such as Khan Academy, Ultimate Review Packet, or I really like Albert.io, or obviously doing the College Board problems. Thank God I don't have to access that website again. It's so much more useful than taking your own notes. You just have to be doing the practice problems. Some more general things. Don't procrastinate on your assignments, just do them. If you have trouble concentrating, I recommend you doing Pomodoros. I really like following those cute Animal Crossing Pomodoros on YouTube. I would just have it playing in the background. And romanticize school. Go to a fancy cafe, take out your little notebook and pens and put on some cute jazz music. This is literally how I survived high school. If you know me in real life, you would know that I spent 90% of my time in a coffee shop studying, sipping on your latte or whatever. You have to romanticize school or else you're not gonna get through it. Put on some dark academia type playlist. I don't care what it takes for you to get your motivation up. Another good thing is, if you have an assignment that's due, it's better to put a time limit on the assignment rather than going and saying, okay, I'm going to finish this essay. You have to time block your schedule to say, I'm going to finish this essay in 2 hours. By giving yourself a limited time frame, you feel a bit more pressured, because if you have something that's due last minute, you can actually get it done. So if you're under pressure, that's definitely a good way to do it, and actually stop when you finish the time limit. Another tip when you're studying, don't go through, okay, unit 1, okay, unit 2, okay, unit 3. I used to do this and I would feel really good because I knew how to solve all the unit 1 problems, but then I would just ignore the unit 7, unit 8, unit 9s that I wasn't so good on, right? Don't waste your time doing practice problems that you already know. I know this sounds basic, but a lot of people, we only do the problems that we are good at. Now that we got academics out of the way, let's go to more like social friendship types. My biggest regret that I had in school is not reaching out to people first. Now, it's not that I was scared or I was too introverted. I mean, I am an introvert, but it's not that I was scared. It's just that I was very content with what I had. Like, I didn't need so many friends, and that's true. You don't need so many friends. You only need 1 or 2 close friends. Like, I only had 2 or 3 really close friends in high school, and that's all I needed. But even if you're like me, even if you're content, I still recommend you talking out to people, even if it's just getting to know them on a name-to-name basis. I really think that it's good to make small talk and reach out to people first. How many times have you actually gone up to someone and say, hey, I know it's scary because I typically don't like approaching people first, but this year, promise me, we are going to approach people first. You never know what's going to happen from that new interaction, right? It's the same as accepting invites and going to events. Obviously, if you're on the other end of the spectrum where you're always a people pleaser and you're always saying yes, 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 that's also not good. So if you're more of a people pleaser, you have to learn to not say yes to everything and protect your own energy. Vice versa, if you're a person who has trouble making friends, you don't really know how to start a good conversation, one of the best things that I recommend is to always ask what their hobbies are and always ask about them. People love talking about themselves. So the instant way to make a friend or to get someone to like you is the more that they love talking about their interests, the more they're going to feel good around you, the more they're going to like talking about you. And you have to become a good listener. I feel a lot of people are not good listeners, right? Now that's also a me thing. I'm more of the listener type of friend. Well, I listen to my friends yap because I like seeing my friends talk about their interests because it makes me happy when my friends talk about things they like. And another reason why you should always ask what someone's hobbies are is because you never know, you guys might have similar interests. And that's also because I'm a huge nerd. I have some very nerdy interests, so I always secretly hope that this person has similar interests as me. And by the way, please guys, let me know what fandom sorry, I'm geeking out. Just please reach out to me. I want to be friends with all of you guys. Okay, I'm gonna quickly list a bunch of my interests here. So if you like any of these, please, 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 let's be friends. Hit my Instagram DMs because I love geeking out about things. Okay, anyways, I even met one of my viewers and we hang out together in Shibuya a few months ago. But yeah, long story short, get them to speak about themselves in a good and bad way. But if you're going to be yourself, you're going to attract the people who actually like who you are and not as the fake you. Trust me, I know all about fake friendships. I'm Japanese. Japanese people are experts at being fake. If you want to avoid fake friendships, just stay away from fake people. I know it's easier said than done to avoid those fake and toxic friend groups, but trust me, after high school, you're never gonna see these fake again. Don't waste your energy on fake friendships and petty drama. You are so much better than them. Don't waste your time on these useless people. Focus on yourself, and vice versa. If there are friends that don't reciprocate, if you're the one that's always giving, you're always the one that says, hey, let's hang out, you're always the one that's listening to them, this is another red flag. As much as I love listening to my friends, of course, if you have problems, please come talk to me. But if you have friends that are always trauma dumping on you and that's draining your energy, that's not a two-sided friendship. Because if they're always talking about themselves and they never listen to your problems, that's also a red flag. So be careful with those kind of friends too. Next, let's talk a little bit more about yourself. I think it's really good to develop your presentation skills, especially for school, because you're going to need it for university and for work and even just life in general. Being able to have good presentation skills, being able to talk in front of people and speak clearly and loudly and articulate your opinions, not using filler words like, so, not reading off of the board, not ending your presentation with so yeah, that was my presentation. We all know that kind of girl. I don't care if you're scared to talk in front of people. You just have to put yourself out there. Discomfort is the only way you're going to grow. Learn people skills. And I think social media, especially after COVID, like it's really hindered our social skills on how we communicate to people. And I think that's partially the reason why we don't know how to make good friendships, because all of it is texting. If you know me in real life, like you know I hate texting and I hate calling and texting my friends. Like instead of texting, like I'd rather meet in like a coffee shop, go shopping together and catch up last week's events rather than always calling or FaceTiming. So I really think it's important to stop talking to your friends online and actually start talking with them in real life. The matter amount of times I've had my friends be in situationships where they're talking to guys only through text, and when they meet in school they're like complete strangers. We don't want any of that. That's not genuine relationships. But yes, you want to work on yourself. High school is a time where you're going to go through so much. This might sound painful, but you are going to go through a lot of personal trauma in high school, whether it's mental, physical, or whatever. It's so important to go through this. It's going to shape who you are because you're going to learn and grow from your mistakes. So don't be scared to make mistakes. I know this sounds cringy, but you're never going to see any of these people after high school. So this is like the best time to make the mistakes and be at your quote unquote lowest. So don't be scared to do risky things because you're going to learn from them and it's going to shape you into a much mature person afterwards. And if you're a girl, I know that you are probably going to struggle with some kind of self-image, whether it's body or your looks or self-confidence. Trust me, literally the best advice that I can give you is comparison is the thief of joy, and self-care, practicing self-care is the most important skill that you can learn in high school. Practicing how to talk to yourself in a loving and kind way and not talking about yourself in a negative way. Talking things about like journaling, manifestation, affirmations, positive affirmations. Cringy, but it really works. One of the best things that I like to do if I ever have bad body image or just bad self-image in general is imagine you're talking to your younger self. This cuter younger self. You're not going to say these horrible things to this cute little 3-year-old toddler or baby. So why are you doing the same thing to yourself? Another great practice is writing letters to yourself, future self, or your past self is such a good self-care exercise to have. And making journaling a key habit. Don't just journal when you're feeling down. When you journal when you're only feeling down, a lot of it is word vomit and venting. You don't want all of your journal pages to be word vomits and vents because all of your emotions are kind of crazy. So if you kind of practice journaling more consistently, just have it on your bedside table or something, you might notice certain patterns. You might be able to catch yourself before you go into that depressive episode. And other things like in general about high school that might cause some stress, like university, obviously choosing your major and everything, it's kind of stressful, and I get it, college applications and etc. But at the end of the day, your college major, it's not such a big deal. It might seem like the end of the world picking your college major. The whole world is expecting you to choose your college major because it's gonna dictate your whole life, but it's not. It's really not. My mother did Spanish and Chinese for her college degree, and she's a Pilates instructor now. My dad did English literature. He works in the beauty and cosmetics industry. And if you really are unsure, just do something general like business. Other tips like self-care is sleep. It's not a flex to be sleep deprived. Sleep is the most important thing that you can do in your high school career. I don't care if it's cringy to have a quote-unquote night routine. And oh my god, go to the gym, start lifting weights. I can't believe I forgot to talk about this, but honestly, everyone start lifting weights. And I'm talking specifically about lifting weights because it's going to improve your posture, your mental health, physical health, your sleep, your nutrition. It impacts all areas, right? And if you're a girl, I'm talking lifting heavy. Don't be scared of lifting heavy. Okay, stop doing cardio 24/7 if you want to get that snatched or toned look. I already did a whole other video on like my gym routine and etc, so you can go check that out. But honestly, I go to the gym 45 times a week simply to keep me from going insane. Don't be scared to lift heavy. I squat like 40 to 50 kg. I can hip thrust more than my own body weight, and I don't look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're not going to get bulky and muscly. Do your own research, but definitely start investing in your fitness journey when you're in high school. So those were some of my advice if you're starting high school, or if you're in high school, or if you're just watching this video in general. So I hope this helps. Make sure to go follow, like, and subscribe, and follow my Instagram if you want to see my ice cream highlights, because I post a bunch of yummy ice creams from Japan, and my TikTok if you're interested in more makeup side and the Japanese lifestyle side of things. And if you like any of these interests, please reach out to me on Instagram. I will love to be friends with you, and I love meeting people in the same fandom as me. So yes, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.